Google just sent over the Pixel 4a, and in today's video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite things about Pixel devices. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where I help tech work for you. So Google has made me a part of Team Pixel for a few phones now, and I've really enjoyed the experience. And they just came out with the Pixel 4a that has a bigger screen, more storage, and this new beautiful design. So here is the device itself, a really nice size there for a phone that costs way less than some certain smartphones that were just announced. It is a pretty capable device. Now, real quick, inside the box, we also have some instructions here, and we have a charging cable, and then we have this little tool that allows you to transfer all of your info from an older phone to a new phone. I'll leave a link to a video about how to do that at the end of this, but today's video is specifically going to talk about how you can activate your device. So let's turn it on here. Now, typically when you activate a new phone, all you really need to do is take out the SIM card that's in your old phone and put it in the new device. This is typical with certain carriers like Verizon or T-Mobile, but some carriers don't support this, specifically Sprint, which is just about gone. So maybe that will change, but right now I have a Sprint number on another phone, and typically if I want to activate a new device, I need to go in and get a specific SIM card for that phone. But with a Google Pixel phone, they have an eSIM built into the device, so you can actually activate the SIM that's in the phone instead of using a SIM card. This is something that we used to have to do a long time ago, but today I'm going to run you through the process to do that. So here it says, hi there. We're going to start. First, it will want to connect to a Wi-Fi network, and that just makes it easy to download all your information. So I am going to do that real quick. So here it's asking for my old phone to transfer all that info over, but I'm not going to use that right now. I'm just going to go through, I don't have a cable. So did you want to copy another way? I'm going to say okay. So here I'm going to select a backup from the cloud. So this is just going to pull down whatever's on my Google account. All right, so now I have finished adding my Google account. It is going through the activation process. So here it's saying there's an error, and it currently is trying to activate it with Google Fi, but I don't have Google Fi service, and I'm not going to use that. So now it is asking what backup I want to use. So I'm going to use my Pixel backup, and I'm going to restore that to this phone. Here it's showing all the info that will be restored, and I'm going to select restore. And here it is finalizing setup. We have now finished going through the setup process, and it's taking us to the home screen. Now, right now, not all my info is on here because it's still downloading it, but it's cool that it did save my same layout that I had on my Pixel 4 XL. So that's a really cool feature, but now we want to activate it. So if you do have a SIM card and you want to put it in your 4A, all you need to do is pull out the SIM card tray down here on the side. So you're going to push in there, and there is your SIM card. So here this does have a Google Fi SIM card, and then you could just take your SIM card, put it in here, and then put it in the phone. But like I said, sometimes that is not the case with your carrier, and that's not going to work. So I'm going to take out the SIM. So now I'm going to show you how to activate it without a SIM card, and this will work on different carriers. So I'm going to head here into the phone settings, select network and internet, and then here I'm going to add a mobile network. Connect to a mobile network. If you have a SIM card, insert it now. So you could insert it like I just showed you. But here we're going to download a SIM instead. Add a number using eSIM. So here, download your SIM. Connect to your mobile network by downloading the info that's usually on a SIM card. This replaces the standard SIM cards, and it's just as safe. So we're going to select next. And then here you're going to choose your carrier. So you have AT&T, Google Fi, Sprint, T-Mobile, or you could even choose a different network. But like I said before, I have Sprint. By continuing, you allow Sprint to verify info that identifies this device on the network. Sounds good to me. If I don't have to go get a SIM card, it is worth it. So now we're going to log in to our Sprint account. So you can add info there, or we can sign in with our account. So I've now signed in, and now I'm going to use one of my phone numbers I have on my account to receive a confirmation code. So now I'm going to choose the phone number that I want to swap onto this phone. So there is my Galaxy Note 10 Plus that I'm going to be trading in soon. So I'm going to swap number. So then as soon as I select continue, it's going to stop using the SIM on that phone, and it's then going to use the internal SIM. And for whatever reason, it did not activate. So we're gonna go ahead and give a call and see what the deal is. Now I was hoping I didn't have to make a phone call to Sprint, so I just got off the phone with Sprint, and the reason it didn't work is because my Note 10 Plus and my Galaxy Watch were paired, the phone numbers with those, but then they unpaired those phone numbers. We tried the activation again, and we had no issues. So now you can see my Pixel 4a is showing that I'm connecting to LTE. So let's go ahead and try a speed test. I am here in a basement, but let's just go ahead and see what speeds I'm getting here, just so we can see the data is working. Not amazing, but there you go. We are getting up to 8 megabits per second download. Oh, 10, we got it. And my upload could surely use some work. So there we go, it does work. I didn't need to go to the Sprint store. Now, one more really cool thing that you can do with the Pixel devices, because it has a SIM card and an eSIM, is you can actually use 2 different phone numbers on the same device. So I've already set up my Sprint eSIM, and now I just added a Google Fi SIM card and signed up for service. So now it's giving me the option to choose what data plan I want to use for the phone. So I could choose the data plan from my Sprint account or from my Google Fi. So now it's going to use the data from my Sprint plan and not the data from my Google Fi plan. So what does this really mean? So let's say you have 2 phone numbers. Maybe you were given a phone line from work that you need to use, and you have your personal phone line. So let's say my Sprint line is my personal line, and that eSIM I just added was my work line. So I can have both of those phone numbers come to the same phone at one time. So let me show you how this works in the settings. So under network and internet, here I have the 2 options. So here I have my Google Fi account and I have my Sprint account. So it's showing both of those SIMs. And right here under mobile network, you can see that I have those 2 different SIM cards. So if I tap on Google Fi, here I have the option to prefer where I want to make my phone calls. So maybe I'd prefer Sprint or Google Fi, or here I can choose every time I make a phone call, what phone number it's going to call out of. And then if I want to change my SMS, so texting, I can choose Google Fi or Sprint, or I could have it ask every time. So then down here, I have the option to turn on mobile data. So maybe I want Google Fi to have my mobile data. I can adjust it right there. So now if we go back, here we have the same settings under the Sprint. I can change call preference, SMS preference. Here is where my mobile data is. And so you do have those options. So how does this actually work? So let me show you what happens if you get a phone call. So here I'm receiving a phone call, and it says that that phone call is coming from Sprint. So if I got a call from the Google Fi number, it would show it's coming from there. Now let's check out text messages. So in the messaging application, if you are texting somebody, here it shows that I sent that text via Google Fi, and I have this little SIM card icon, and I can change what number I want to send the text from. I can choose to send it from Google Fi, or I can choose to send it from Sprint. All right, so to simplify this, let me show you how it works. So let's say somebody has one of my numbers and they send me a text. So here when I receive that text, it says who that came from, and then it says the message. So let's clear that out. Now let's get a message from another device. So here it came into the same application from a different person. So right now it really doesn't show you the difference, but if I go in here and I can see that this came from my Google Fi number, and then I click on this message here, you can see it came from the Sprint number. So it's pretty clear on where those messages are coming from. And then if I want to respond to them, so if they sent me from Sprint, I just need to make sure I'm selected on Sprint. I can then send my message, and it's going to send over here. And then let's go back to the other message thread. So here they sent on Google Fi, it's automatically going to respond to the Google Fi. And so that makes it pretty simple that it's automatically lining up with the SIM card that is there. So having that ability to use an eSIM and another SIM card is really beneficial, especially if you're using 2 phone numbers these days in one phone. The Pixel 4a can definitely do that, as well as other Pixels. So it's really neat that all of that is in one device. So there you go. That is how you can easily add your phone number to your new phone. You don't need to go out and purchase a SIM from your carrier. It's pretty easy to do all on your own, as long as you're the account holder and you know all that information to be able to do that. So if you have any further questions about activating your device, please let me know in the comments below, or if you have any other questions about the Pixel 4a, I'll do my best to help answer those in future videos. And you can check out other videos about the Pixel over here on the side. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.